Welcome to Mind Matters, the podcast that explores the mysteries of the mind and how they influence our lives. I'm Alex, and today we are joined by Dr. Rebecca Lane, an expert in human psychology. Rebecca, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Alex. I am excited to dive into the fascinating world of psychology with you and your listeners.
Today we are unpacking the basics of human psychology. Rebecca, could you start by giving us an overview of the main psychological approaches used to understand human behavior?
Certainly, Alex. Psychology can broadly be divided into three main approaches. First, we have cognitive psychology, which focuses on mental processes like thinking, memory, and problem solving. Next is behavioral psychology, which examines the ways in which we learn from our environment. And finally, psychodynamic psychology, which explores how our unconscious minds shape our behaviors based on past experiences.
That's intriguing. How does cognitive psychology explain our daily decision-making?
Cognitive psychology looks at how we process information and make decisions based on that processing. For instance, when you're choosing what to wear in the morning, you're using your memory to consider the weather, your past choices, and even social norms. It's all about how your brain uses information to guide your actions.
That's quite detailed. How about behavioral psychology? How does it differ in explaining our actions?
Behavioral psychology doesn't concern itself as much with mental processes. Instead, it focuses on observable behaviors and how these are learned through interaction with the environment. For example, if you receive compliments when wearing a particular outfit, you're likely to wear it more often. This is a principle called reinforcement.
It sounds like our environment plays a significant role in shaping our actions according to behavioral psychology.
Exactly. And extending that to a more complex scenario, think about how we adapt our behaviors in professional settings versus personal ones. This adaptability can be explained by behavioral principles like conditioning, where we modify our behavior based on feedback and outcomes.
Switching gears to psychodynamic psychology. How does this approach help us understand behavior that we might not consciously think about?
Psychodynamic psychology delves into the unconscious part of our minds. It suggests that many of our behaviors are driven by unconscious desires or memories. For instance, someone who had a frightening experience with a dog as a child might unconsciously feel anxious around dogs, even if they don't consciously remember the event.
These insights are incredibly powerful, especially in therapeutic settings, I imagine.
Absolutely, Alex. Understanding the underlying reasons for our behaviors can be transformative. It helps therapists provide more targeted interventions based on understanding these unconscious motivations.
And how do these psychological approaches play out in everyday life? Could you give us a few more examples?
Of course. Let's take procrastination, a common issue for many. From a cognitive perspective, procrastination might be seen as poor time management or faulty thinking patterns. Behaviorally, it might be viewed as a learned response to unpleasant tasks, where avoiding the task is negatively reinforced by temporary relief. Psychodynamically, it might involve deeper issues like fear of failure, stemming from past experiences.
That's a comprehensive view. Before we wrap up, could you share how an understanding of these theories can benefit someone in their everyday life?
Knowing these psychological theories can enhance self-awareness and improve interpersonal relationships. It helps people understand not just their own behaviors, but also those of others. This can lead to better communication, improved conflict resolution, and healthier relationships overall.
Dr. Lane, thank you for this enlightening discussion on human psychology. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Alex. I enjoyed it as well.
Thank you all for tuning in to Mind Matters. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating aspects of psychology and philosophy. Until then, keep exploring the depths of your mind.